Good morning, everyone. It's New Jersey Garden. I wanted to continue my August garden tour. The last time I had done a video was a couple weeks ago, and a few more things have come into bloom. I first wanted to talk about this big plant here. It's brown-eyed Susan, and I'm really enjoying it. It gets a lot taller than black-eyed Susan, and it's I'm noticing that all of the flower blooms last a really long time, which is nice. Down here I actually have a coneflower, and I love growing flowers from seed, and I tried to grow coneflower a few times from seed in the past, and it's a little tricky. The coneflower needs stratification, which means cold temperatures, and I always managed to plant it too late in the spring when the weather was just too warm. So I planted this I believe a year and a half ago in my basement in February, and I got a little seedling and I planted it last year. And it was so tiny last summer, and all summer I've been waiting for the blooms to develop, but the deer keep eating it. I did not realize that deer really seem to like the coneflower. I have a coneflower in a couple spots, but the deer are just eating it, so I may not be able to grow coneflower in my garden. I do spray with deer repellent, but a lot of times if it rains, like this summer has been very rainy, and if it rains, the deer will just come right out after the rain. Because the deer repellent seems to wash off in the rain. So I grow a lot of flowers that, you know, if they're affected by deer, I will pull them out because I just get frustrated with the deer. And another example of that is the dahlia. I had planted dahlia from bulbs a couple years ago, and I loved them, and they were close to the house, and the deer did not touch them. And they really have beautiful leaves and beautiful flowers, and this year the deer have been nibbling on the dahlia. So hopefully I'll get a few blooms. But I'm realizing that I can't plant dahlia out in this front garden here. This is in front of our house. It's a wide garden bed here. And as I go around the garden, I'm actually looking to potentially move a few things. It's mid-August here in Zone 6A in New Jersey, and we have a few more weeks until it will start to get cold, and now is a good time to think about dividing plants that might be in need of dividing, or moving some of your perennials before, you know, so the root systems get established before the cold weather comes. Back here is a catmint plant. I had trimmed that way back earlier in July, and it's coming back into bloom again. And then I just have some scattered daylilies in this bed with some irises that I'm going to be moving. They had bloomed in the spring. I have some a little bit of ageratum in here, over here, with some white alyssum in the front here, and another daylily that's been getting eaten by deer. So I'm going to be moving a lot of things, and I'll show a video after I've moved some things around. But daylilies, if they're close to my house, the deer won't bother them so much. So I'm going to be moving some of these daylilies back to the front of the house. Over here is a perennial that I really like. It's called Basket of Gold Alyssum, and I showed a video on this the other day. And also in the spring, I did a video on it. It has beautiful, bright yellow flowers in the spring, and it spreads rather easily. It really does prefer dry spots, and this spot is a little bit, gets a little bit of moisture, but it's doing fine. And it's reseeded itself in my garden in another area, and I've been kind of moving it into different spots into this garden to give some more spring color into this garden. Over here is a plant I really enjoy. It's a crepe myrtle, and it just has beautiful blooms. It grows, you've probably seen crepe myrtles maybe growing in the south. It's a beautiful tree-like, it can be like a tree form, or you can have it as a shrub, and I'm trying to turn this into a tree. I've been gradually trimming off some of the side branches. It's a little bit hard to see here in this video, but I've been trimming off some of the side branches to enable the crepe myrtle to look more like a tree. Down here there's a calamint plant, which is just a simple mint plant that the deer won't touch. And down here I just have some zinnia seedlings. I planted my zinnia pretty late this year. I planted them from seed, and I usually plant them in June, and this year I just due to the rain and my work schedule, I ended up planting them really late in July. So we'll see if we get some zinnias over here. I have zinnias in another part of the garden that are blooming just nicely. And over here I just have catmint that's coming back into bloom, and all of my Shasta daisies, which had been blooming in late June and July. They were beautiful, and I had to trim them way back because they were just really floppy from all the rain that we had. So they're coming back nicely, and what I decided to do is to plant catmint behind them to give them some more support so they wouldn't flop. Catmint is a simple, herb. There's a seedling back there. I use catmint a lot because the deer don't like it, and it's very pretty in the spring. It has a blue flower, but what I like about it is it has very thick stems, and it can support other plants growing near it. So it's a sturdy plant, and I'm going to plant more catmint behind these daisies so that they stay propped up, because they were really flopping pretty badly this year. So, and I do enjoy them. They really make the garden look very nice. So this garden really probably needs some more August and September blooms. This area here gets a lot of spring blooms. I have a lot of spring flowers in this garden, and you can see that in some of my other videos. I have poppies that grow here, and over here is a perennial called soapwort, which also has been spreading by my mailbox, and I moved it over here. And it's really a nice pretty pink flower. There's some more calamint here. There is a lavender bush that I've trimmed recently, and I'm going to be getting additional blooms soon. It's great because it will bloom twice for me. And I just have some more zinnia seedlings over here. That is a lady's mantle. It blooms in the spring and has chartreuse flowers. There's another catmint, more Shasta daisy, and some lilies. So I'm going to be moving, and there's some yarrow here. I'm going to be moving some things around the garden in the next few days because I'm realizing I want to relocate some items due to deer issues, and also just aesthetically. I try to match up, colors that I like. And as you can see here, my daylilies are getting back into bloom. If you trim out the brown stalks in your daylilies and pull out those brown leaves and trim back any seed heads that might be forming, you will get additional blooms. This one is called Stella d'Oro daylily, and I also have another one that I'll show you in a minute called Happy Returns. This one is really pretty. It has like an orangey yellow look to it. So I have a few daylilies right here in this little section by our garage, and I'll show you the Stella d'Oro daylilies now. So here are the Stella d'Oro, so here are the Happy Returns daylilies, and they're really quite pretty. It's a lighter yellow than the Stella d'Oro daylily, and it's just like a happy bright yellow, and I have some white alyssum growing around it. I like to pair alyssum with a lot of my flowers. I think it matches well with a lot of flowers, and these were just some Asiatic lilies that bloomed earlier. Here's some more alyssum with some more Happy Return daylily blooming here. And then in this garden I just have a row of ageratum in here mixed in with some lilies. This is the Happy Return daylily. It looks really quite lovely. I'm very excited that they're reblooming now. It's mid-August. And then over here I have some Morning Glory that's blooming, and I think it's just so pretty. This is called Grandpa Ott. It's a really pretty purple bloom. The deer nibbled on this initially. The deer love Morning Glory, so if you have Morning Glory, you need to put it in a protected area. We don't have fencing around our property, so I try to work around that by using deer repellent. And I just really love Morning Glories. I think they're just beautiful, and they will only bloom in the morning. They close up in the middle of the day. They really like to just bloom in the morning. So this is just so pretty here, and the ageratum is really nice too. But I just love the leaves of the Morning Glory as well as the blooms. Just really pretty. There's a little shadowing just from me walking around here, but as you can see, it's just a nice combination having the different purple tones in here. So that's what's blooming right now in the garden, and I'll do more videos. Thank you so much for watching.